Color in graphic design can be used to create aesthetic and harmony. This can only work when you combine color well. There should be one color that stands out on your design project. It is good to experiment what colors are best. It may take a couple of tries. My name is Ekiade Adetunji, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to combine colors that is appealing to the eye using color from the model or character on your project. So without any further ado, let's jump into today's tutorial. So this is the image I'm going to be using to teach you guys how to pick colors from your model or your character. So I got this image from rawpixel.com, and we are going to be using this to design an album art. So the first thing you need to check is the color on the character or the model. All right, so if you look at the shirt of my model here, I have the shirt color is blue. So we're going to go to color.adobe to pick the color that we are going to be using to achieve the album art. All right, so this is the website. It's called color.adobe.com, and I'm going to click on the explore button here. The color on the outfit of our character is blue, so I'm going to type blue here and hit enter. Okay, so we have different options here that we can use. So I'm going to go with the one that I know that is less strong based on the project that I'm working on, and that's very important. You need to understand the project you're working on before you pick color. So since this is an album art and I don't want it to be too busy, because I want this to stand out on the store shelves, I'm going to use this color set. So if you want to know how to copy the colors, just click on this button here. Once you click on it, to automatically copy the color for you, and then you can go to Photoshop and paste the color on your Photoshop color picker. And if you don't want to lose this color, I would advise you create an account, and any color that you see that catches your attention, you can just add it to your library here. So once you click on this button here, it will add it to your library. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. All right, so we're acting like we don't have an account yet, and I'll go to Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to click on the color picker here, and I'll paste the code of that color. Then I'm going to hit, let's just take out the hashtag, and I'm going to click on the OK button. So I'm going to use Alt backspace on my keyboard to fill the color of the background. So now I noticed that the color, all right, on the outfit of my character here is not as strong as what I want it to look like. So this here is the shade of the color on my character's outfit, but I decided I want to switch it to this because I actually want the project to to pop more. And just in case I didn't remember to say this color here is what actually made me pick this set of color, because this color here is similar to the color on my character's outfit. So I'm switching to this color now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this, and I'll go back to Photoshop, and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'll select the rectangle marquee tool, and I'll draw a shape here. Then I'll come here and paste it like we did previously. Take the hashtag out, and I'm going to use the Alt backspace to fill that layer with the color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the curve adjustments, and you know what, let's just drag this up. Okay, or better still, let's just move it here. All right, this is perfect. And now I'm going to drag this down. Okay, so I'm going to click on the clipping mask icon here because I only want this to apply to just only the model. All right, so I'm going to click on this icon here, and I am going to stop right here. All right, now if you look at it, now we're getting close to this shade of color, and I'm going to hit Ctrl I on my keyboard to reverse the mask because I don't want this to affect the face of the model. So I'm going to select the brush tool, and I'm going to increase the size of my brush. Then I'm just going to go to my brush settings and make sure that I am on the soft round brush, and I'm going to turn on my transfer option. Now if you don't have, this is only for those that have a graphics tablet, but if you don't have a graphics tablet, you can turn down the flow to 15 or 16 or 18. All right, and you are still going to get the same effect. So I'm just going to apply that curve adjustment now. But before I do that, I need you all to know that your foreground should be set to white when you are applying the brush to the mask of the curve. So I'm just going to now. All right, so this is good. So in order to make this more stronger, I'm going to add hue, saturation to this. So I'm going to go back to the adjustment tab here and select the hue and click on the clipping mask again. Then I'm going to hold on Alt and drag to make a duplicate of the layer mask here and drop it on the hue saturation. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want to go back and start applying the brush to the layer mask of the hue saturation anymore. So what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to go to the thumbnail of the hue saturation and increase the saturation till I get to this shade of blue. All right, so I'm just going to move it here, and I think this is fine for me. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift select the layers, and I'm going to use the move tool to just move this to this side of my frame. Now you see that because we have the part of the character on crop out part of the frame, and that's why the hue and the curve did not affect this side of the body, so we need to adjust that. All right, so I'm going to select the layer mask of the curve and select the brush tool, and I'm just going to increase the size of my brush again and just apply that here like so. So there's no need for me applying it to the hue anymore. I'm just going to hold down Alt again and do the same move I did previously and release, and then we have this. Then I'm going to delete this because I don't need it anymore. All right, then I'm going to just put my text. So I'm going to copy the name and click here and paste it. Make this bigger. All right, and I'll change the color of this to one of the color that I have. So I'm just going to paste that and open it. Okay, then I'm going to copy this again. No, let's just make this bigger. Okay, I'm going to make this real big till it touches the side of the head. Just put this here like so. Put it in. Make this bigger, and this should be somewhere around here. Push it up a bit. All right, then the rider should be here. Move this here. This should be here. Make it bigger. This should be here. All right, then I think I need to create more drama with the title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to select the pen tool, and I'm going to hide the name, and I'll draw a part like so. I'm just going to do this here. Then I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter to convert the part to a marquee, and I'm going to make the name visible again, and I'll hold on Alt and click on the layer mask to just crop out that heart part from the title. And in order to make this look more real, I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to call this shadow. All right, then I'm going to mask this by holding on Alt and clicking between the two layers, which is the shadow and the name, which is Mario, and then I'm going to click. So I have the shadow clipped inside the Mario, and I'm going to select my brush tool, and I'm going to just go to the color picker and just pick a color from here and click the OK button. Then I'll go to my brush settings and make sure I'm on the self-round brush, and I'm going to just apply this here, reduce the size of the brush and just apply it a little bit more like so. And this is good. And the last thing I'm going to do here is my background is too flat and it looks as if my my character is too close to the the wall. I don't want that, so I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to call this strokes. Okay, and hit the enter key, and I'm going to just pick a color from here and then click on the OK button. Then I'm going to reduce the size of my brush. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to create depth. All right, so I want it to look as if my character is not too close to the wall. All right, it's not close to the the wall, or let's just say I don't want it to look like the project is flat. All right, so I'm trying to create depth now. So watch what's going to happen when I apply this. It will look like my background, my model or my character is far from the wall. Yes, now notice I did not go outside of the colors that I got from color.adobe.com. Apply this like so. So most times this is how I work. I just like to create drama. So all right, then I'm going to pick this color again, and which is this. I'm going to switch and I'm going to gently apply that again like so. I'm going to hold on Alt again and pick a color from the background, and I'm just going to apply that here because I actually don't want it to touch the name. All right, like so. To add more depth to this, so I'm going to go to filter and I'm going to select filter gallery. All right, then I'm going to select paint daub and I'll make my brush 8 and my sharpness is going to be 32 and click on the OK button. One other thing we can do again is to add curve to this. I'll go to the adjustment tab and just add curve and drag this down. And I'm going to hit Ctrl I on my keyboard to reverse the mask, and I'm going to select my brush tool, increase the size of my brush, and I'm going to zoom out a bit. So what I'm trying to do is to make people's attention be on this side of my project. So I'm going to add the curve back to the scene like so, and do the same thing here, and do the same thing here, do the same thing here. Like, if a color isn't appealing, the viewer will become uninterested. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to ring the bell so you will be notified when I post my tutorials. Remember to share, like, and comment on this video. I'll see you guys again in the next one. Peace.